Hi, this is Donna with the Waldorf Connection, and welcome to the last video in the Academy video training series. We wanted to bring you some great content, and we also wanted to let you know that you are not alone, that we are here and we have created an amazing program to support you, to give you everything that you need so that you can be successful in the one thing that you have decided to do, and this one goal that you have, which is to homeschool your children using Waldorf education. And as I discussed in my previous video, there are a lot of challenges that go along with that. So I am part of this community. I'm in the trenches. I have been homeschooling my children for the last 6 years using Waldorf education. We're in 4th grade now, and I understand all of the struggles and the frustration and the overwhelming feelings that you guys get trying to make this magic happen in your own homes without just wondering how you're all going to do it, without all that frustration, without all of that banging your head against the wall. And I want you to know there is a way to do it that will fit into your days, that will guide you. There are us waiting to take your hand and to hold your hand for 6 months, to give you the basic foundation, to give you all of this behind the scenes, why everything works, to take all of that Waldorf magic and to turn it into information, steps, and a process that you can take and say, okay, that's great, I love that, I love the theory, I love that, that's the reason why this method works so well. Now, how can I take that and bring that back to my own home and use that with my own children without, having to reinvent the wheel? Because that's what I'm all about, and that's what I've always been all about, is to take all of that information and make it into a usable, learnable, teachable format that you can bring to your children. And we don't want to squash all the magic of Waldorf education, right? Because that's what attracted us to this incredible form of education. However, we need some guidance, we need some boundaries, we need something. We need a container that will allow us to learn the material, digest the material, and to be able to present it back to our children in our own unique way, in a way that's comfortable for us, and that will allow our children to thrive and to really blossom from all of that. So I've gotten a lot of questions from all of you all about this program, so I'm just going to go through what we're going to cover and how it's going to be brought to you and some of the benefits that you'll get. Feel free to leave a comment or a question down below. You'll see some Facebook comments. If you scroll down under the videos, feel free to ask any questions there, make any comments or anything. We're watching it because we know there's a lot involved here. It's a very involved program. So please leave us a comment there, or you may also just send your question over to support@thewaldorfconnection.com. So I hope you don't mind. I'm going to kind of follow along here so I have everything in what we're going to cover. But how it's going to work is we are going to pre-record the lesson, and you will receive the lesson. Usually it'll be in audio format, like an MP3, or it may be in a video format, depending on what topic it is that we're doing. And you will receive 2 of those per month. That will just come to a special page that you're going to have. It's very easy to access. We don't have to worry about it coming to your email. You'll go straight to the web page and download everything right there. Everything will be in one spot where you can just get it. And it will have your weekly lessons. It'll have any type of PDF checklists and templates and support materials that we feel is important for you to have as you go through this. So you will receive a lesson one week, and then the following week we will have a live question and answer session all about whatever we just heard, whatever topic that just was. So that gives you plenty of time to listen to the material. Depending on your schedule, you can listen to it a few times, and then formulate your questions, because there's nothing worse than being on the phone, going through the content, and thinking, I don't know, I haven't had time to to digest all of it, I don't have a question, and then the next day you have questions. So we want to give you time for all of that with everyone's busy schedule. We don't want to overwhelm you. We want to make this as simple as possible and deliver it to you in the easiest, simplest way. So we don't want to cause more overwhelm. So we're doing it as simply as possible. We're going to break everything down very, very easily for you. So you will get a weekly lesson, then we will have a live Q&A, and if you are unable to make the live Q&A, there's no worries there. You can send the questions over through our forum or just directly to support, and we will answer your questions on that live Q&A call, and then you will get a copy of the recording, as you'll get a copy of all of the recordings and all of the transcripts and all of the support material from the course. Okay, so 2 lessons per month. One of those lessons is going to be a theory-based, Waldorf-y, behind-the-scenes, why we do what we do kind of call to give you that, because you really have to have that knowledge of why Waldorf works the way it does. And then the second call per month, the second lesson per month, is going to be the nuts and bolts. Okay. Here it is. This is what you do, kind of step by step. And I think it's really important, from what I've found over the years, is to have that balance. Because there's tons of that airy-fairy, Waldorf-y stuff that you do need to know out there. But then how do I take that and use it? How can I take all of that great stuff and how can I use that in my own world, in my own days, with my own children? And then the nuts and bolts. And again, if you just go for the nuts and bolts, follow this, follow this, follow this, the material is there, but you'll be missing a lot of what makes Waldorf magical. So we're trying to balance that by giving you one of each month. And of course, we'll be there for answering any other questions that come up regarding any topics in Waldorf homeschooling. It's Ann Cleveland, who was a Waldorf teacher for over 15 years. She's got tons of experience in the classroom as well as helping homeschool families. And you've got me, a veteran homeschooling mom who's been doing it over 7 years. And between the two of us, we should be able to answer any of the questions that come up, and you will be free to ask as many questions as you want in our forum on the live Q&A calls to make sure that we are coaching you, and that's part of what you will get in this program. So you get 2 lessons delivered to you every month, 2 live Q&A calls, or you may listen to on the recording and send the messages in. We're going to have a forum so you can be on there talking with each other, getting to know each other, because isn't that a big problem that we have as homeschooling moms, is the isolation, is the feeling that we're doing it by ourselves, that nobody else gets what we're doing. Even our local homeschooling families, we are homeschooling, but it's a whole different animal over here, and so I want you to be supported. I want you to have other moms. When we got together at our live event back in June, the first live event that we did, it was so amazing to spend 2 whole days with other moms who were in the same place, and it was amazing for me. I know it was amazing for them as well, just to have other moms to talk to about this, and they get what you're saying. You don't have to try to explain the whole thing. So I want you to have that support for 6 months going on it. We'll probably leave the forum up afterwards, and I'm sure you'll have made some great connections and some friends that you can continue to support each other with after the course is over. Okay. So that is kind of what you get with the course. I've also included many bonuses. You can look on the website, some other things. One very important bonus is my rhythm, 4 Steps to Rhythm program, because I think if you don't have your daily rhythm and your weekly rhythm down, it'll be really hard to kind of bring a homeschooling into the mix. And I think it's a big part of it, and we will be talking about that throughout the course as well. But I want to get you off to a fast start. I include those programs that are available to you as soon as you register. We've got some other ones in there to help you. Elementary Secrets, a program we did for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade that we did back in the spring. And then the Jump Start program, which is sort of the basics of Waldorf, with some great tutorials and other things in there. You can check all that out on the website. But I want to just go through the topics that we're going to cover. I don't want to talk too long on here for you. But the very first month, the very first lesson that you'll get, which we thought was really important to start the whole mood off and the whole class off correctly, is to transform yourself from the inside out, inner work for mom. So we're going to touch on a lot of subjects right here, and I talked about it a little bit on my last video. You know, standing in your power of, hey, I'm here, this is the decision I've made with my family, I don't have all of the answers, but I know I'm on the right path, and if I just get a little help, I know that my kids are going to thrive, and they're going to really come through on the other end, and I am too. So it's this whole confidence, this whole working, this inner mindset that we have to have, because we're the teacher. We are the ones bringing the information to our children. You know, there's not just textbooks you open up and say, here. So we're going to work on that. The second, the nuts and bolts class, is raising confidence through enhanced skills. And that sort of goes along, you know, with the first call, because confidence is a really big thing, but then we're going to show you how to build your confidence, how to improve the skills that you need so that you can say, hey, yeah, I do know how to do wet-on-wet painting, I do know how to do knitting, I knew how to present a main lesson, and you feel confident, and that really helps. That really helps in so many ways. Just having that confidence will boost you, and it'll make you excited to kind of keep going on your journey into learning more. Month 2 is the philosophy behind the curriculum, where we really get into why Waldorf does the things it does when it does. You know, why do we wait until the child's in 1st grade to learn to read, and why is the handwork brought in certain ways in certain grades? There's so much of that magic behind there. We want you to understand why it's done that way, so that you will go, oh, okay, well that makes sense to me now. Now I feel okay about it. You know, it's just this knowing. So, and we're going to, you know, make it so it's very understandable if you've tried to read any of the Steiner stuff. I struggled a little bit with it. I still keep on with it, but there's a lot there. So we want to kind of break it down in simple format for you so you can get it. The second call in month 2 is practical. It's a very practical, schedules, routines, and rhythms. Again, if we don't have this at the very beginning, it's going to be really hard. So we're really going to go in, we're going to talk about your schedules. I'm going to give personal coaching to those on the lines on how to make your schedule better, how to work in your rhythm and routine. And I know this is going to be very popular because that is the most requested thing that I get from you guys, is that you need help with your daily rhythm. So we're going to go ahead and knock that out. In the 3rd month, we've got communication and connection with your child. So, you know, if you don't have a good thing going with your children, being the teacher, you know, you need to have that. You have to be able to bring the information to your child in a way that they understand and that you're all on the same page so that your teaching is effective. And then we'll also be talking about the second class. We'll be celebrating with seasons, festivals, and crafts. And we've worked this out, so it's just the perfect timing as the holidays draw near, how to work those festivals in, and all of the great stuff that you hear about and see about on the blogs, festivals and seasons and special crafts. So we'll be covering a lot of nuts and bolts in that. In the 4th month, we'll be talking about something which I know you guys want to hear about it, and Anne talked about it a little bit in her video on the page up there if you listened, and that is socialization, pop culture, and media. I probably don't even have to say any more, because as soon as you hear that, you're like, yes, how do I work that into my life with Waldorf? You know, because here we are in the 21st century with iPads and iPods and iPhones, and, you know, there's screens everywhere you go, and how do I work that? When my neighbors down the street, you know, my kids are going to my neighbor's house and they're watching TV or they're playing video games and whatever, and how do I work all of that? So we're going to talk about that because it is a really big part of Waldorf and something that may not have been around when Rudolf Steiner, you know, was putting everything together. But now, obviously, is a challenge for a lot of moms who want to stay true to the Waldorf method of, you know, of not having a lot of TV and screen time. So we're going to talk about that. And then the practical in month 4 will be verses, stories, and songs, which is really the backbone of Waldorf education, in my opinion, because basically everything is brought to the child in movements and stories and songs and verses. And even as you go up through the grades, things are still brought through stories, and the children love the songs, and it's all a big part of it. So we're going to talk all about that, give you resources, give you a lot of bonus things that you'll be able to take and just say, great, it's all done for me. I can just take what I have right here and use it. That's the whole point to this great class. Okay, month 3, we're going to talk about difficult days, turning your failure into success. You know, no matter how Waldorfy you are and how great things are going, you are going to have those times and days and seasons of your child's life, whether it's the 7-year or the 9-year change, or just bad days or things happen in your family, and how to work with that. How to work that through the Waldorf method and through your homeschooling, so that you can, you know, you can make it work. What do I do when my child just says, I don't want to do this, you know, and all of that. So, you know, or you're having a meltdown and all that. So we will definitely cover that. That'll be a great class in month 5. And then also understanding and using form drawing. We felt that this was such an important part of the Waldorf curriculum that we just don't want to dedicate an entire class to understanding it, because it builds so much from from the 1st grade all the way up, and we want to make sure you really understand that, because I have been doing form drawing for a while, and they're still like, why do we have to do this, and what is this form, what are these types of forms, and how the forms change as your children grow older, and what a meditative, reflective, amazing activity it is for your child as well as you. So we're going to be talking about form drawing and giving you the nuts and bolts of that. And then month 6, we've got customize the curriculum to fit your child. And I think this is probably one of the biggest things, because you can take all of the stuff you've learned and really make it to fit where your child is, what your child's needs are, and your own needs and the needs of your family, and to be able to give your child extra lesson if they want, or, you know, extend main lessons and that kind of thing. So we're really going to give you the ways to tailor the curriculum for your child. And then the final class is the art of storytelling, for, as I was saying before, how stories are throughout the entire curriculum, and mastering that and working on that, and giving you all of the tips and tricks. That's the practical side of storytelling, and answering all questions on that, and maybe we'll even have a special guest on there about storytelling. So you can check out all this information on the website at thewaldorfconnection.com/homeschool-academy, or you could just click the link on the page here. I want to give you just a couple quick benefits before I go here. This is actually what the content is and what you will receive from us. But what you will also receive, and I want you to really listen to me for just a moment here, is you will be supported. You will have someone in your corner for 6 months and more, guiding you, helping you, showing you the way, giving you the shortcuts, explaining everything in a way that you understand. And, you know, I just want you to think about that for a moment. I only wish I'd had a program like this when I got started. It would have, you know, just made things so much easier for me. I wouldn't have had to try to figure it all on my own, and I wouldn't have struggled trying to figure it all on my own and wondering if I was doing it right. And I'm sure you understand all of that. It will raise your confidence. It will help the communication in your family. You know, a happy mom and a happy homeschooling environment is really what you need here. We want our children to thrive, and if you're stressed and overwhelmed and frustrated, that's not going to come across well for your family, for your husband, you know, who you're trying to get on board with Waldorf education, and he sees you over there freaking out. You know, this is an opportunity to be supported, to get the training that you need to understand the basics, so that you can take this and use these foundational subjects and use them for years to come with the rest, you know, as you go through the homeschooling years, as your younger children come up. We tried to make subjects that were universal, you know, depending on the, you know, it doesn't like, okay, we weren't going to just talk about 1st grade. It was the backbone of everything, and you are welcome to all the questions you want about your particular grade as we're going through each one and in our forum, because it would be impossible for us to cover every grade. That's why we have the forum, and that's why we have those live coaching calls that you will be able to come on and ask your particular questions. And that is so valuable, because sometimes it's that one tip, it's that one thing, and if you go, the light bulb goes off, and you're like, oh my gosh, I get it. And then you go back and it's like, wow, I just needed this little piece. And it's those little things that start to fall into place that make a huge difference, and it gives you the ability to be able to do the one thing that you want to do, which is successfully homeschool your child. You know, I've had people tell me, I don't know what to do if I don't get this. I may have to send my children back to school. You know, or we want to send them to a private school, but we can't afford it, so we have to do the, you know, we do the Waldorf homeschooling, but I need some help. I can't get it. And I don't want you to be in a situation like that where you give up, or you just say, I can't do it, you throw in the towel. So check out all the information on the homeschoolacademy.com. Here, I'll give you all of the information, the links below. We are enrolling now. The first class starts October 3rd, so we've got just a few weeks to get everybody enrolled and starting. And again, immediately you'll get all the bonuses, and your training will start right away. We'll put you into the forum. You can start talking with others, and we'll be ready to go. Again, any questions you have, it's support@thewaldorfconnection.com, and I sure hope to see you there.